Alrighty, so you guys will probably realize that something just switched over. This is a postscript clarification. I realized that something was a little bit unclear, so I just want to step in here and pause and mention a clarification. Now, we're mentioning these types of consistencies to look out for, right? So we're looking at these consistencies and we're looking at these groups. Now, if you have one of these types of consistencies that matches one of these, whether that's an on time, that's an exact duration, or that's an approximate range. All over the place isn't really something you can do to because it's all over the place. So if you have any of these consistencies, okay, according to these considerations, then whenever you're deciding based on this methodology that I mentioned, okay, you need to make sure that you don't go against what you are established as. So if, for example, this is just a general concept, if you always see things at a certain time of the month and you see blood for longer than 10 days and it overlaps with that time of the month, then you're not going to choose a time that's not in line with that. If you always see blood for 7 days, you're not going to choose 10 days as your haid and the rest is istihada, okay? Even if that is what the characteristics say. If you have one of these consistencies, let's say you always see blood from 3 to 6 days, you cannot choose 8 days. You need to be within your ranges. Now, an approximate range isn't exact, right? So that's why when you have an approximate range, you still need to go through this process, okay? Looking at the characteristics, looking at the family, and then choosing, okay? But you need to just make sure that when you're looking at these things, if one of these things goes against your approximate range, then you need to actually choose your approximate range instead. You need to make sure it's always within that, okay? There's overlap, then that makes it easier. You can do it, but you're using the approximate range as your limits, okay? If you have an approximate range, those are your limits. Your lowest limit, your highest limit, whatever the limit approximate range that it is that you have. But I wanted to step in and clarify this because I realized that it wasn't super clear right before. So please make sure you realize that, and we will now go back to the original recording.